If you are an adult, you have between 30 to 40 trillion cells. Yes, these are the number of cells you have if you are an adult within this range. However, it has been discovered that male have more number of cells than female. An adult male has about 36 cells, trillion cells, while an adult female have about 28 trillion cells. However, we should know also that children, because they are not as big as adults, they have lesser number of cells, having about 17 trillion number of cells. This is interesting, right? Yes. So today we are going to look at the cell and its structures, and we are going to look at some key interesting things. Do you know that cells commit suicide? Hey, wow. Yes, cells commit suicide. All right, so we are going to look into it, but later at the end, just wait till the end, watch till the end. I'm going to tell you how cells commit suicide and several other facts about cells. So before we go, what is a cell? A cell is actually the basic unit of life, the functional unit of life. So what is this cell about? This cell is more like a building blocks. When you have a house is made up of blocks put together to form the entire house. So this is what cells are. They are building blocks. So today we are going to look at the structure of a cell, and we are also going to look at the organelles and the function of each of these organelles. Now let me tell you something. Do you see this? I believe that you know that this is just a generalized structure of a cell. Cells have different structures. Cells of different organs have different shapes. Yes, for example, when we talk about a nerve cell, I don't know if you can remember a nerve cell. It have dendrites like this. It have dendrites having different shapes. Myelin shield, it's having its nucleus like this. If we talk about muscle cells are long in nature like this. They have the nucleus in between, and so on and so forth. If we talk about plant cell, of course you know also the shape of plant cell. So this is just a generalized structure of a cell. So, and we are going to look at an animal cell today. I hope you are still with me. Don't forget, I promised something. If you stay till the end, I'm going to tell you how and why cells commit suicide. Thank you very much for staying. So this is a generalized structure of a cell. So let's begin to look at the organelles and the function of each of these organelles. So the first in the list is peroxisomes. Peroxisomes are organelles in a cell. They are found in large number in cells. And what is their function? Their function is that they break down fatty acids, amino acids, and they also neutralize peroxides, which are dangerous to the cell. These peroxides can destroy a cell. So the function of these peroxisomes is that they break down fatty acid to release energy, they break down amino acids, and also they neutralize peroxides, which are very, very dangerous to the body. So the next in the list is our smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So what is this smooth endoplasmic reticulum? Smooth endoplasmic reticulum is also an organelle in a cell. What is its function? Its function is that it synthesizes lipids. It synthesizes fatty acids precisely. So this is the function of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Fatty acid synthesis. Now, this will be very easy for you to remember once you hear smooth. Remember, our fats makes you smooth. For example, if you put oil on your body, how does your body become? It becomes smooth. So once we talk about smooth endoplasmic reticulum, we are talking about an organelle of a cell that produces lipids. I hope this is clear. So let's go to the next one. Intermediate filament. Intermediate filaments are filaments that are found within the cell organ. Look at it, it's just more like a hair, just small ones all around the cell. So what do? They help to stabilize the structure of a cell. In times of stress, when you, for example, press my body, of course, we have a protein called elastin that makes your body a little bit flexible, and that is what gets tampered with as we age that makes wrinkles form because that protein called elastin has been deformed. That's not where we are going. I'm just bringing in this so that you can get more understanding about what we are talking about. So these intermediate filaments, they help provide or make the cell maintain its shape. So that's its function. Next on the list is ribosomes. What are ribosomes? Ribosomes are these small dots you are seeing here, and of course these are they you are seeing also all around the rough endoplasmic reticulum. What is their role? Their role is synthesis and modification of proteins. Very important. Protein synthesis is very important in the biological system. So what these ribosomes does is that they synthesize and they modify. It's not just synthesis. I once told a friend, I say our body doesn't need protein. He was like, wow, why did they now say we should eat protein? Why did they say protein is very important for our life? Yes, of course, protein is very important. But let me tell you something. If you eat an egg, that's a source of protein or meat, do you know that your body will have to break it down and synthesize the kind of protein it wants? So what am I trying to tell my friend? I'm trying to tell him that our body needs amino acids. That's the building blocks of proteins, and it synthesizes the protein it requires. You cannot eat protein and the body uses it like that. So the function of these ribosomes is that they pick amino acids, arrange them into proteins that the body desires. So I hope you got that. So next is rough endoplasmic reticulum. And rough is because it has the ribosomes attached to it. Now look at it. Its function is also the same thing with that of the ribosomes. So the ribosomes all around, get amino acids and the RNA, and then synthesize protein. I will not go deep into transcription. There are processes that leads to all this. We have transcription, we have translation. We also even have DNA replication. But let's not go into that because I don't want to go deep into it. So, but I want you to understand the basics, which are very important. In another video, I may try to explain that. So let's go. The next one is lysosome. Wow, this is interesting. But first, wait, if you have not followed our YouTube channel, please hit the like button and subscribe. We share interesting things, not just knowledge. We try to share knowledge in a fun way that will help you understand, master, and also remember. So follow our YouTube channel now. Have you subscribed? Alright, let's go. So where did we stop? We stopped at the lysosome. What are lysosomes? Lysosomes are also cell organisms. These guys, they are just interesting, They carry digestive enzymes. Of course, you know what digestion means. Digestion means breaking down of complex to simpler. So they carry digestive enzymes. What they do is that if there is any defunct cell organelle, any cell organelle that has issue and probably it is affected and is not playing its function again, these guys will absorb it, break it down, and release that waste product which can be recycled again. For example, if it breaks it down into amino acids, those amino acids could be used again because some of these things, they have proteins inside too. So, and foreign objects. For example, if someone is infected with virus or bacteria, it is the roles of these guys to open up, absorb that bacteria, close up, and destroy that bacteria within, and release the waste product. So this is the role of these guys. So they play immune role. They play immune role in that they destroy foreign objects, foreign organisms, the microbes and other stuff, and they also help to sanitize the cell so that dirt will not be all over. Anything that is dirty, it picks it up, destroy it, and then release the waste product. So that's that about the lysosomes. The next is cytoplasm. Of course, we know what cytoplasm is. This is the house. This is where the semi-fluid that is holding all the cell organelles in place. That's what cytoplasm is. When we go to the mitochondria, oh, we know this to be the powerhouse. Why do we call it so? Because our very TCA cycle, ETC, electron transport chain, are located within the mitochondria, and all these processes lead to the release of ATP, which is the energy currency. If I move my hand like this, ATP is being consumed to provide energy. So that's why we call them the powerhouse. So all the processes that are happening in the body that requires energy are produced by this electron transport chain and glycolytic pathway also, among others. So this is very important, is the powerhouse. Beta oxidation, that is fatty acid degradation, takes place in mitochondria and several other processes that leads to the release of energy. So we call it the powerhouse. I hope that is clear. Let's go next to secretory vesicles. Oh, do you know that some cells are specialized to synthesize some molecules, some proteins? Yes, and if they synthesize these proteins, they may not necessarily utilize them. They may send them out to other cells or to extracellular fluid where they serve their function. So that's the function of this secretory vesicle. It serves as a gateway where synthesized products are sent out to the other environment for utilization. Oh, we have centrosome. Centrosome is very crucial, and it plays its role during cell division by helping in arranging the DNA, putting all the cell organelles in place for cell division, which we call mitosis. Yes, I believe you get that. So let's go right to the next one. Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus are also cell organelles that sort, they package, and transport. Do you get? There are three important rules now. They sort, they package, and they transport what? Protein and lipids. So protein and fatty acids, or lipids, if you may want to call them in that way. Remember, smooth endoplasmic reticulum produces fatty acids, while ribosomes produces protein. Now these proteins are being sorted and packaged, then they are transported either to the outside environment, and if they are to be used within the cell, this will sort and package them, because sometimes the way they are even produced, they are not utilized directly, so they undergo modification. There is what we call post-translational modification. So if you have an advanced knowledge in biology or biochemistry, you would understand what I'm saying. If you don't, just follow gradually, like our videos, follow our channel, and hit the notification bell so that anytime I post, you will get it. Believe me, biology is very simple and interesting. Don't forget, I promised to explain something, and what's that? How cells commit suicide. Alright, I will not forget that. Alright, so let's go right to the next one. The next one is nucleus. What is nucleus? Nucleus is actually the part of the cell that houses DNA. We call it the genetic repository. That is the deposit, the place where genetic material is stored. So it is responsible for storage of what? Genetic material. And then when it's not only store genetic material, but it coordinates all the activities of the cell, including metabolism, including all manner of things. This is responsible. The nucleus is responsible for all those activities. Then we have microtubule. Microtubules also play an important role in spindle formation during cell division. Very, very important. So they also help to stabilize the cell environment, keeping organelles in their own proper positions. Oh, I missed something. And what is that? I missed cell membrane. Cell membrane. Yes, this is cell membrane. Cell membrane is very, very vital. Sometimes they are called biological membranes. So don't be confused. Biological Membranes. Membranes. So this cell membrane is very, very important and it plays a crucial role. Assuming there is no, it serves as a gate, as a fence to the house. If your house is not fenced, excuse me, what will happen? Snakes can come in, scorpions can come in, and that's very dangerous. So cell as an individual entity also maintains integrity. The fluid inside should not be equal to what is outside. So it serves as a protection to all the organelles and to provide a site for biochemical reactions to happen within the cell. It plays another role that is very, very interesting. This membrane has what we call receptors. It's always interesting to me the way God creates us and how these cells also operate. There's what we call receptor. For example, do you know that some drugs, when you take them, before they get where they are getting to, these cell receptors have to receive them. Sometimes we have transporters that allow a selective transportation of particular from outside to the inside. So drugs too, the way they work, they have to go through channels because it's not everything that is permitted to come into. So anything that is not lipid in nature, for example, because this thing is made up of lipid, the membrane, lipid bilayer, precisely. So anything that is not lipid cannot pass just anyhow. The cell will stop it, the cell membrane will stop it. So what happens is that they pass through gateways, through channels. We have transporters and we have receptors. So in the case of receptors, signal is released here and the signal is sent inside and the target organ will be affected and change or modification will take place. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Do you have any question? Yes. If you do, please write it in the comment section. Then I would respond to it. Now let's go to the last thing, which is a promise I've made. Do you remember? But before then, please like our video, follow our channel, and share with friends. Let them also benefit from what we are sharing. Okay, don't forget, henceforth, if you are an adult male, how many cells approximately do you have? Let me see if you can remember. Yes, that's 6 trillion. How about females? About 28 trillion. What of children? Yes. Yes, they have about 17. Thank you. If you remember, if you have not remembered, I'm telling you, don't forget that. Very, very important. Now, do you know something? Some of these organelles may not be found in some cells. Do you get that? For example, a matured red blood cell does not have a nucleus. Yes, it's also a fact. So that's why anytime you come to our channel, we try to share some things that are very important and that will help you even in your future in the biology. So you just don't need to, we don't just need to come and say, hey, cell membrane, this, and that. We tell you things that are very, very important. So some cells doesn't have all these organelles. Some have other organelles that are not here. So that's why in the beginning I said this is a generalized cell structure. Okay, so that's another thing. And another thing is that some cells have more number of mitochondria than others. Yes, that's also very important. For example, if let's say this is if we are talking about adipocytes are fatty cells, cells that stores fat. They almost have no nucleus, no mitochondria at all. Can you imagine that? But if you come to muscle cell now, you know muscle, that's where power, that's where energy, that's where ATP is produced. If you come to muscle cell, guess what? You have a lot, maybe 1 million mitochondria in just one cell. Can you see? So these things are diverse, they are different. That's why we have cells and tissues. Tissues, we say they are specialized set of cells put together to perform a specific function. Liver cell is different from muscle cell. Muscle cell is different from nerve cell. Of course, I hope you get this. Very crucial. Alright, so lastly, my promise. You didn't forget this promise. Okay, I'll say it now. Alright, cells commit suicide, but their suicide is good. You know why? Okay, let me tell you. Now, if there is an injury, for example, if there is an injury to a cell, let's say there is an injury to this cell, the cell will self-kill itself to prevent the infection from affecting other cells. It self-kill itself along with any problem that has affected it, so that it will not reach other cells. And this process is what we call apoptosis. Apoptosis, a situation where cells commit suicide. When they are infected, they kill themselves to avoid the problem, the infection, the bacteria from spreading to another cell. Have you ever injured and there was a pus, there is a white mucus, maybe after some days, white mucus gathered around that place? Do you know have you ever asked yourself what's the cause? Okay, so the cause is because some of the cells around that place that is injured died, killed themselves, self-killed themselves, to release chemical that will mobilize immune cells, cells of the immune system. So at the end, you would have that kind of pulse. Thank you for joining our class. Don't forget, do you have friends that are interested in biology? Share with them. Are you a student? Are you a teacher? Are you interested in biology? Follow our channel. We also produce videos in chemistry and physics. Go to our channel, search and see what we are doing. Our teachings and lessons are very interesting. Thank you. See you in another video. Bye.